At the most recent City of Detroit Lakes Financial Committee meeting, the City of Detroit Lakes discussed the possibility of a local option sales tax here in Detroit Lakes. This is something the city has been eyeing, quite frankly, for a couple years. It was debated to go for a local option sales tax before the city decided to go for the 1% food and beverage tax, which we currently have, which was approved by voters in the fall of 2010, November of 2010. But some things came up during that financial committee meeting that made the city, I think, hesitate a little bit about at least charging forward with this 1%, or possibly, it might not even be 1%, I shouldn't say that, it could be lower, but a possible local option sales tax for the city of Detroit Lakes. The city thought maybe they shouldn't go for it right away in the fall, because now it sounds like the City of Detroit Lakes School District, or the Detroit Lakes School District, may have a building referendum vote around the same time, now that they pushed that back and began talking with some different people. They fear that to have the both referendum vote and possibly a local option sales tax vote would probably do good to kill both of those proposals. So they don't want to team it up against that or compete against that. Also, Governor Dayton's budget proposal, which is talking about expanding sales tax to a lot of services, even though it would lower the state sales tax, also makes the city have a little bit of hesitation, considering they're not quite sure how far a local option sales tax would reach into some of these other areas. And there was actually, after talking with some people in some other cities, the City of Detroit Lakes discovered that they might not be able to go for a local option sales tax without having it go towards a particular project or particular maintenance, something along those lines. Similar to how the food and beverage tax goes for, bike trails, cleaning up of the beach, dealing with the flowering rush, and the downtown redevelopment project, as well as some street improvements. It was dedicated for that. I think the city's idea was hoping they could have a local option sales tax and then be able to put that in the general fund to help bring down the cost of property taxes. But let's really think, why is the city going for a local option sales tax in the first place? Well, I think it's really twofold. One, I think the success of the food and beverage tax cannot be underestimated. The food and beverage tax has brought in more money than originally anticipated, and I know, speaking personally as someone that lives in Detroit Lakes, frequently eats at the restaurants and bars here in Detroit Lakes and shops in Detroit Lakes, I really have not noticed the 1% food and beverage tax. It's probably very minimal as far as what it cost me at the end of the year. So the success is one reason. But the second part is we're growing. We've got a lot of projects going on in Detroit Lakes, almost a dozen projects over the next couple years and a couple real big projects coming up. And I think the City of Detroit Lakes is running low on money right now. I don't believe we're broke on paper, not by any means. But if you commit the money that we promised for the projects we're going for, I don't know how much is left over right now in the City of Detroit Lakes. And obviously, with the way taxes have gone up on property owners in the last few years, I think the city is getting the message that they might have tapped out that particular revenue stream for now. So that's why I think the city's looking at the local option sales tax. Something you and I would have to vote on, and something that should definitely be considered given the success of the food and beverage tax. But also something that could be considered too is maybe let's not try to do all these projects right now and right away. Let's prioritize some of them. Some of them I know are time sensitive. Some of them are teaming up with the county. Some of them have grants that are involved with them, and I get that. But I really think we don't need another tax necessarily if we prioritize in the right way. But hey, that's just my thought.